Kevin grinned like a mischievous fox and set up a trap on the ground, snapping a picture of his masterpiece, but this was just the beginning. He dashed back 5 meters from the glass, pulled out a rock, and threw it with all his might, shattering the glass and setting off the alarm. Instantly, the bumbling thief panicked like a fly in a hot soup, desperately trying to catch Kevin and snatch the photos. But little did they know, the boss got flung away by the trap at the door, making us laugh. As the little rascal was about to run away, the bumbling thieves scrambled to chase him, unaware that the trap behind them was waiting like a hobbit trap. They chased the rascal. Kevin led them to the villa steps where the kid grinned like he had candy, making the minion furious and ready for rough play. The boss stopped the minion, planning nice before tough, dramatically shouting, "Hand over the photos, and we're done." But Kevin was having absolutely none of it. He picked up a brick and threw it down with force, which made the boss furious beyond belief, prompting him to hurriedly instruct the minions to split up and act. The boss was startled like he saw a ghost and rushed to the side door of the villa, only to spot the ladder that could save his life, almost bursting into laughter. He sprinted up the steps, unexpectedly soaring into the air and then inexplicably hanging there, suspended, like a weightless astronaut. Little did he know Kevin had reinforced the trap. Hearing the noise, the boss kicked it open, thinking, "This door is truly my mortal enemy." Shield, the boss snapped back, mentally repeating, "Careful, be very careful." One light, nothing happened. Another, still nothing. By the third, he relaxed, thinking, "This kid is too easy." He thought the rascal wanted to join, but didn't know Kevin controlled it all, closing secretly in the bathroom. Kevin casually flicked a switch, triggering the trap once more, making the boss silently groan, "Oh man, I should never have come in here." His head fell scorching. Seeing himself in the mirror, he froze in shock, rushing to turn on the faucet, but it wouldn't budge. In his panic, he noticed something bubbling in the toilet, thinking it was water, not knowing it was a full tank of flammable liquid. But he had no idea the toilet was filled with explosives, looking just like a burnt chef on a cooking show. His hair was styled in a way that would scare anyone, even himself, but it was even worse for his minion. The minion stumbled up to the door, yanking on the doorknob, only to pull out a meter-long white wire, completely clueless. His head was spinning, his IQ dropping to 250 temporarily, and he yanked on the wire non-stop without even thinking if it was a trap. Out of curiosity, he turned around to see what was happening, but unexpectedly triggered a chain reaction, almost causing him to lose a tooth due to the nail he was clamping in his hand. 1,000 ways to torture the little rascal flashed in his mind as he sprang up and kicked the door with all his might. Little did he realize, he was destined to crash into a pile of meat like a pancake, but ended up looking exactly like a smashed durian instead. His strong body allowed him to get back up, with a crack, his broken leg healed, as if he had found eternal hope. He spotted a rope nearby, thinking he could climb up, but completely missed the oil slick on the ground and slid down like it was a slide. The strong smell of paint didn't wake the minion. He wiped the paint from his eyes, barely opening one, and struggled to crawl out from under the shelf. Suddenly, he spotted the noticeable sink behind the wall, eager to wash his face, but Kevin had been waiting there for ages. Seeing his opportunity, Kevin swiftly flipped the power switch, and in an instant, it appeared as though he was emitting smoke all over, resembling a vegetable thoroughly cooked in a hot pot. Who'd have guessed he still had strength to stand, trembling, this his most thrilling experience. Finally, he made it to the rope, thinking, this time, I'm going to get revenge and show my skulls. But he looked completely perplexed, unsure what to do next with the rope. Exerted to the limit, he just wanted to use the rope to help himself climb up. After a struggle, he finally had an epiphany, tested the rope's strength, and with confidence, began climbing up. At this point, his IQ slowly returned. A huge change, all for revenge. He thought, that brat can't escape. Finally, he sat up, his brain coming back to normal in a flash, secretly vowing, I'm going to take this kid out and trash the furniture. Ready to use leverage to pull the boss up, but as his head poked out, the furniture collapsed, trapping him in place. At that moment, Kevin arrived, intending to climb to the 3rd floor via ladder, teasing, "Hey, me your trainer." The minion saw the boss getting wrecked too and shouted, "The little rascal is right here." Little did he know, the latter had been tampered with by Kevin, and at the last moment, the boss also faced a harsh punishment as they both scrambled up. After finally getting the boss up, just as he tried to pull him up, he heard the little rascal start singing, "Hey, Jude, don't make it bad." P.S. The two abruptly recalled their previous lessons, thus pretending to climb upstairs while actually concealing themselves in secret. Yet to their astonishment, Kevin had actually set up an identical trap once more. They charged up the stairs in a frenzy, thinking it was over, only for Kevin to drop an even bigger trap on them. It looked like 2 heavy turtles, only for Kevin to quickly cut the rope, thinking to himself, "Ha, my plan is paying off." He swiftly pushed over a heavy toolbox towards the last door, as the bumbling thieves finally reached the 3rd floor, just as they were starting to catch their breath. Kevin wildly taunted from behind the door, seeing the bumbling thieves in such a mess, feeling delighted, thinking, finally, I can end this once. At this moment, Kevin quickly tugged on the rope tied to the doorknob as the bumbling thieves reached the door. When the boss yanked in the handle, the door not only didn't open, but it pulled the toolbox down the stairs, and both were left with no choice but to push open the door. Their noses were squished like fat and garlic, making Kevin laugh uncontrollably from the side. Faced with an insurmountable trap, Kevin, summoned courage, tossed the oil-covered rope, glanced down dozens of meters, thinking, "Gotta be careful."